Welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday show. I'm Lucy McMonagle. I am the host, and I am on a movement to create this world a better place. If you are listening to this, please make sure that you share this episode with your friends, your family, and your tribe, because together as a collaborative, we can all do our part to create conscious wealth, create conscious communities, and to make this world a better place. Stay tuned for our next featured guest. Hey, this is Lucy McMonagle. Welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday show. And today I'm so incredibly excited. We have Nickquolette Barrett, and she is a career development strategist with expertise in resume writing, interview prep, career strategy, and LinkedIn branding. She is a dynamic speaker who uses a unique and real side of humor and sensitivity. And she is absolutely amazing. Her website is irockresumes.com. Nickquolette, welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here, Lucy. Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. You have such an entourage of incredible skills. You help individuals with LinkedIn branding, you help individuals with career strategies, and for those who are in the corporate world that might be looking for another job or another corporate job, you can help them with resumes and interview preps. But most importantly, you also help entrepreneurs. Can you tell us a little bit on how you got started in this, and tell us a little bit on how do you bridge all of these together with the LinkedIn branding?
Oh, well, thank you so much yes, I have a lot of those skills. I've been in corporate America since 1991, and I've been in leadership since 1999. So when you get into leadership in corporate America, you're always responsible for developing your employees, interviewing employees, hiring, performance managing, all those different aspects, and making sure that you not only hire the right people, but that you also make sure that you're managing the people to make sure that they're producing the results that you're requesting of them, as you're held accountable for. So in all of my years of doing that, it only lended itself into the point that me being able to break off and say, you know what, I can possibly do this as an actual business. And it really wasn't me who identified that. It was actually two of my employees. There was a thing going on at in the corporate America at the organization, and we were having a whole lot of new opportunities come up. So there was an opportunity for me to develop my whole entire team to get them promoted to the next level. And so at that time, I was doing a lot of interviewing prep, making sure that they had their internal resumes completed properly. So when I did my whole team, I had a team of 12, and 11 got promoted. One person chose not to because she was getting married and relocating. So that's the only reason she didn't even apply. So when my team was promoted and I started telling people about it, it kind of grew from there. So I ended up doing my peers and getting from one leadership role to another leadership role, getting people promoted into leadership roles, and just my take on how I presented them to brand them, and being able to speak to their worth. And I do that overall, no matter if you are looking for an actual job or you're actually presenting yourself, whether you're going to speak and do a presentation. It's about how do you present your best self. So I've always been very good and savvy at that. And when those two employees said, well, Miss Nickquolette, you could probably do this as a business, I never really even thought about it. I put a little blurb out on Facebook, told them of my successes internally in corporate America. Then all of a sudden I got inboxes asking me to assist. And literally, Lucy, it started off as making money just enough to get my pedicures and manicures. That was it, because it was just fun for me. And then all of a sudden, when I started to see that this was something that can truly turn into an actual venture, an actual business, and a company, an organization doing the things that I love, that's when I took it to the next step. And I developed iRock Development Solutions, LLC, doing business as iRock Resumes. And that LinkedIn, don't even let me get started on that. If we want to take a break right there, I can talk a whole lot about LinkedIn, whether it's for a professional or for an entrepreneur. It's so important to brand yourself on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. And I would love to talk about the LinkedIn branding. And as the entrepreneurs and as the individuals that are maybe moving from corporate to entrepreneurship, how do you present yourself properly on LinkedIn so that you really truly get the message across?
So what I did when I first had my LinkedIn profile, it was just as a professional website. We all did that. And a lot of entrepreneurs get scared and think that LinkedIn is only for jobs. I'm not looking for a job. I don't want to be on LinkedIn. It's not about looking for jobs. It's for people looking for you to help them with what their needs are. LinkedIn has grown exponentially. It's not a job board anymore. It's not just get out there. The recruiters are out there, only people who are actually looking for jobs. There are people who, I think the average salary at one point was $120,000. And I always pose this question to the entrepreneur. Wouldn't you want a piece of that? If the average salary is $120,000, why aren't you on LinkedIn talking about your services? Now, there are a lot of entrepreneurs, Lucy, who are dual career. So they are corporate America, still working, and they're birthing their business. So in order to marry that, you can talk about your skills within your role that highlights your business. The same thing that I did. Because I did coaching, because I did career development, because I did the internal resumes, I did that in corporate America. So it kind of just melded into what I'm doing now. I don't promote the fact that I'm a corporate leader. What I promote is the fact that I am a career development strategist helping you elevate your brand to the next level, whether that be with a resume, a cover letter, a CV, a bio, or even, presenting yourself face to face in front of a person, whether you're doing a speech or even an interview. And you can interview for anything. It's not just an interview for another job. It can be interviews internally, which I did a lot of, as well as presenting your best foot forward on who you are as a professional. And no, it's not a Facebook. So people think, oh, I want to put my stuff out there. I said, no, it's a professional atmosphere. You can become a thought leader on LinkedIn. Get your knowledge out there. Get out there to show them what you have to offer. And you never know who will need your services. And that's what you need to be highlighting. Speaking to your brand, it's another tool to get some of that $120,000 a year salary into your bank account.
Exactly. And as the career strategist for building forward for the entrepreneurs, how do you help individuals, or do you have any tips on how they can help themselves on strategizing their career, even if their career is their baby, their new business?
Yes, because I tell a lot of entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship is a career. It's not just about getting a job at a corporate role or what have you. It is an actual job. So how do you present your best self? So what strategies are you going to say, okay, how can I take what I'm doing now, make sure that I am aligning to my values, aligning to my skills and my abilities and my talents, and bringing them all together so you're not all over the board. Because sometimes entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs who start out, they want to do some of everything. No, you probably don't need to do that. Same thing with what I do with my clients for career. Yeah, going from the entry level to the presidency, it's going to be a lot of steps in between. So let's not try to become the president of the company first. Let's take these steps and strategize on how one can help the other. So therefore, what skills are you gaining? Even as an entrepreneur, what classes? How are you developing yourself? What events are you going on to? I always talk to some young entrepreneurs. When I mean young, I mean new, getting into the business. Are you networking? Are you getting out there? What events are you presenting yourself? Do people even know who you are? How are you even on social media? Are you presenting what you want to present on social media as an entrepreneur to promote your brand, but not be salesy? So I try to walk anyone through how to develop their career as an entrepreneur where they're not all over the place. Because if you're all over the place, you'll never be able to focus and zero in on what needs to happen to get you from point A to point Z, and not trying to just jump over, So I give you all the strategies and steps to get you there. And it may take time, but you will get there because now you have a focused strategy.
Exactly. And for the individuals that are a little bit further down the path and they have kind of a strategy, they finally figured out, oh, I can't be all over the place. I can't be for everybody. Right. Do you have some basic tips that they can take away with right now?
About hiring their team, so their staff. A lot of times people, when I first started, people say, well, you need a virtual assistant. Okay, that's well and good. Well, what do I tell the virtual assistant to do? What do I have them do for me? How can they help me move my business forward? So therefore, you need to develop an organization chart. What kind of people do you need? Do you need a project manager? Do you need a social media manager? Do you need a marketing manager? Do you need a virtual assistant? And what kind of virtual assistant do you need? Because there are different ones that do different things for you. So how do you make sure you get the right people in the right place? And you have to ask them the right questions. So being able to interview them to make sure you're getting the right person. A lot of times we don't even develop job descriptions. As an entrepreneur in your business, as you have seen your business grow, you have all your systems in place. Now you need to develop job descriptions of the type of people that fit your brand, your vision, your mission, and align with what you want to do, and hire those people, interview them, and ask them those tough questions because you're trying to find the right fit. So I will coach them to make sure that they're looking at, how do I interview this person? What questions? And it's not about being friends. This is a business. It's very dangerous to become friends with your employees. And, you have to actually balance hiring friends or even hiring relatives. How do you do that? Can you all still work together? Because those personal relationships can get in the way. But if you're hiring someone on the outside, you can ask those tough questions. And if they're a good fit, they're a good fit. If they're not, they're not. So knowing the right questions to ask at the right time is going to be very beneficial.
And what kind of questions would they ask?
Basically asking, first you have to line up the job. Have them give you examples of what they've done. So if they say that they have done this social media and they have grown someone's social media brand, I need proof. What example? Or let me give you a task. Put this whole campaign together and let me see what you do. And then also when you're asking that, show me the proof. Oh, don't just tell me. I want specific examples. When I coach my clients in career, when I'm doing my career clients, don't give an answer that's not a result. Don't give me hypothetical fluff. I want to know, what did you do? So I always tell them, think in your head of who that person was that you helped. What did you do? How did you do it? So you're going through the method of what you've done. So I want to hear that you've actually done it, not what you would do or what you could do or what you think should happen or the fluff answers. I want to know proof. So give them a task. So can you do this task? Can you do this right now? If you say you can type 50 words a minute, type something for me and show me. Those are the kinds of things that you really have to make sure you get at. Can they do what I need? And can they show me that? Not tell me, can they show me that? That's what I would do. More of action as opposed to fluff.
Exactly. And when you're asking individuals, let's say you're hiring a virtual assistant and you're asking them, can you do this? Or let's say they tell you, oh, I can build your social media following to, 10,000 in 2 months, and finding out how they're doing that. Because a lot of times there's individuals who will say, well, I can build your following, I can do this, I can do that. But they omit to tell you that they have like 100 profiles on each different network, and then they have friends who have 100 profiles. So you have a whole bunch of followers that are not even in your country, not even in your niche, not even whom you're working with. And asking for specific examples on how do you get individuals that follow me, that are in my groups, that are in my social media.
Yes. That would be beneficial to you, because I don't want just anyone following me. Those are not necessarily my customers. I don't need a name and a number. I need to know, are they interested in what I have to offer? So I want organic. I want to be able to say, these are the true people who are your audience. So not just a number, because I've seen so many advertisements about I can get you this many on Instagram, I can get you this many on this, but those are just robots, and a lot of the social media are becoming very savvy to that. So they're changing a lot of their parameters where that stuff can't even come through. So I will want to know, how did you build it? Who did you build it for? And what were their results? And in those kinds of instances, I will want the actual reference. I will want to call that person and ask, because that is usually the true tell sign of how effective that person would be in your business, because you have somebody who's telling you that they've already done it for me. And if they've done it for me and I've gotten all these results, it can happen for you as well. So go the next step. Don't just do the surface and to bring somebody on board and they have not proved that they are able to do this or get the same results for you.
That's true. That's true. So can you, for the individuals that are the entrepreneurs, is there certain tips and something that somebody can look at their LinkedIn profile today and say, oh, okay, I need to change this or that? Is there anything that when you look at somebody's LinkedIn profile or they're looking over their own profile, is there certain telltale signs that will help you improve your branding, will help you move forward?
Yes, and the prime property is your background photo. So in your background photo, you can talk about your branding, having something that aligns with what you want to do. Say, if you go and look at my LinkedIn profile right now, it says you plus me equals success. I'm telling them exactly what I'm able to do for them. So if you can have a background photo created to speak to what you can do for someone that aligns with your brand, that is the number one tip that I would say, because of course we're visual creatures. We want to see that. And so that grabs people attention. The next thing I would make sure that I caution entrepreneurs to stop doing is putting CEO as what there are. Because I see so many people, I'm a CEO, I'm a CEO. Yes, yay. But that's not what the customer cares about. They are not looking at the fact that you have a title. They're looking at you to make sure that you can help them. So therefore, have a tagline to talk about how you can help them all. What more about who you are, and not the fact that you're the CEO, president of this, because nobody really gets a kick out of that besides us. Who cares? My next third biggest tip is the summary. Write your summary for the customer. Don't write the summary for you. It's not important to me that you have so many certifications and designations and degrees and how you've been honored. Okay, nice, yay, again. So what can you do for me? I help you do this. I can move you from here to here. I provide this service. Talk to the customer so that they can actually come in and utilize you. Then they will ask you about all of that credential stuff. And if that's important to them, they'll ask you about that. But a lot of times customers don't ask about all that. They really want to know, how can you help them and what proof? So write your summary for the customer and not as your own accolades, because the customer really couldn't care less. McDonald's, they don't advertise the fact that that they make millions and millions of dollars and they've been in business that many years. No, they advertise you the fact that they have the best fries, and I do love their fries. Right? That's what it's all about.
That's true.
Sorry, I did.
I never thought about that. The
Yeah.
McDonald's does not advertise their franchises as, buy a
Mm-hmm.
franchise and we'll make you millions and millions of dollars. They advertise, buy our franchise and sell the best fries ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they want to satisfy your hunger, right? That they're
Yes.
talking to me when I see those fries on there. They're talking to me. So therefore, they're trying to entice their client. They're not talking about all the accolades and how it was the business was started. They don't advertise that. So why should yours do that every day, 24 hours a day, advertising about you? No, it should
Mhm.
advertise to them. It's not about you. Mm-mm.
That's so
So
true.
those are my three big tips.
Those are really, really big tips, and those are definitely writer downers. Now, you also have LinkedIn 7 tips. Can you tell us a little bit about your free gift that you have for individuals that want to utilize these tips and even more tips on your free gift for them?
Yes, it goes in a little bit more detail than what I've shared here. And these are things you can implement today to get some traffic on your site, on your LinkedIn page today. And they're implementable. You can look at them and say, okay, it's not going to take a lot of time for me to do this. And if you do those things today, take 30 minutes at most to implement those, you will see additional traffic coming to your site. And as you build in time to say, okay, now I'm going to start understanding and knowing what I need to add in to enhance it even more, that'll gradually come. But these 7 tips will get you to have that traffic right away. And so I would recommend that they definitely download that, read through that. It's a quick read. It's something that is actionable and you can do right away. So I would love for them to go ahead and take a look at that and get that on my site. Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. And they can get that at bit.ly/LinkedIn-7tips.
Yes, they sure can. They can go straight there and download it. I'm not asking for your email. There is an option. It'll be a pop-up box and say, hey, what do you need? You can feel free to put your email in there, but it's a free resource that you don't have to commit to being on my mailing list. Although I would love for you to be on my mailing list so you know what iRock is doing, but it's not committing you to that at all. So go ahead and get it, download it, and it's yours for free.
Wow, that's really generous. And if they wanted to go to your website directly and find out more information on how you can help them with their career development, they can go to irockresumes.com.
Yes, irockresumes.com. It'll take you right there.
All right. And I'm going to spell that out for the individuals who are listening to the podcast. It's I, then ROCKRESUMES.com. irockresumes.com. Wow.
Yes.
This is fabulous. And the time has gone so quickly for us today. I really appreciate you being on here, and thank you for giving us the tips and the strategies for entrepreneurs and for those who are in the corporate world who are ready to truly rock their career.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Lucy, for having me, and I hope this was helpful. And if anybody would like to contact me, please feel free. I'd love to chat with you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Absolutely. You take care, and abundant blessings for you. And I want to thank
you. Thank you.
So thank you for listening to the Wealthy Wednesday show. This has been a blast. I'm so grateful that you have been putting the comments in our YouTube. You've been subscribing. And I'm really excited about the new topics that we have coming up because you've been giving me suggestions on what topics you want me to list. So I've been finding these incredible speakers, authors, writers, career strategists, etc., so that you can improve your life and your business. So until next week, abundant blessings. Thank you for listening to another edition of the Wealthy Wednesday Show. I'm your host, Lucy McMonagle, and I'd really appreciate it if you would share this with your friends, your family, your tribe, and let other people know that the Wealthy Wednesday Show is creating a movement to make this world a better place, and we rely on you to get the word out so that we can create mass influence. So until next time, abundant blessings.